So I have been alcohol free for over 10 years. And what surprises people the most is this. One, I do not crave alcohol. I do not think about it. I don't struggle with it. And I do not avoid places where people are drinking. It's just simply not a part of my life anymore. But it did not start out this way at all. I used to believe that alcohol helped me relax. I believed that it made me more fun. And I thought sobriety meant that I would be missing out and that I would be the boring one. So if you have tried to stop drinking by setting rules, making promises to yourself, reading all the books, listening to all the sobriety podcasts, but you still find yourself drinking against your own intentions, it is not because you lack willpower. It is simply because you were not taught a way that actually works. And today I want to share a different path, and I call it the empowered sober path. And this is a process that has helped so many ambitious women just like you remove cravings without the fear and without shame by rewiring the brain and the nervous system all at the same time. So, from the outside and on paper, it looked like I had it all together. I had a great and super fun job. I had a busy social life. I enjoyed traveling. I was traveling all the time. And if I wanted something, I would go get it. I would make it happen. I had a lot of friends. I like to have a lot of fun. I was very social and out and doing things. But secretly, I was using alcohol to manage just about everything. I was someone who would drink at pretty much any opportunity. And I'm not kidding. Maybe there was a stressful day. I was maybe bored, or I was restless, or I was anxious. I would drink. I would drink if I just wanted to take the edge off. And I then started to make all of these rules around my drinking when I noticed that things started to feel off and not as in control. And I figured if I can manage all of these other things in my life, then yes, of course, I can manage this whole drinking too much thing. And so I would make rules for myself, only 2 drinks, only drinking on certain days, only drinking socially. And I eventually broke every single rule. I couldn't stick to any of them. And I did not want to tell anyone that I was trying to quit. I did not want anyone to know that I was struggling with alcohol because I didn't want to be judged and I didn't want to be labeled. It literally felt like the worst thing in the world that could happen to me if anyone found out that my relationship with alcohol had taken a turn. So I was determined to figure it out on my own. But what I didn't understand was this. I was not actually having a problem or fighting with alcohol. I was actually fighting my own nervous system. And this was a nervous system that did not feel safe at all. I did not feel safe being me and experiencing the world as me. And what happened was my brain had also created this very strong association with alcohol and relief and feeling calm. So even when I logically wanted to quit, my nervous system was still screaming for safety through a drink. And so I like to say the battle was lost before it even started. So there's a traditional belief about sobriety that sounds something like this. You will always struggle with this. You have a disease. You need to call yourself an alcoholic or you're never going to change. This will be a daily battle and you must work on your sobriety daily. Your cravings will never go away. You must always be alert. And a lot of women hear this, including myself, and think, why would I ever sign up for that? That sounds awful. Which then leads them to trying to successfully moderate, only to find themselves failing miserably. Just like I did. I failed miserably. It did not work for me. And the empowered sober path believes the opposite. So think of it like this. Most people try and quit by focusing on the symptom, which is alcohol itself. But the real problem is so much deeper. It's in your brain and it's in your body. So instead of constantly pushing back against alcohol, we focus on making it irrelevant, making the desire go away altogether. And I like to call this a top down and bottom up approach. And so, top down is all about your mindset. And it's about rewiring your thoughts and your beliefs and your habits so that your brain stops seeing alcohol as the answer to everything. And then bottom up is about your body. It's about regulating your nervous system so that you can actually feel capable, safe, and grounded without needing to numb or without needing to escape. And when you get both of those things working together, that's when the cravings disappear. And you're not resisting alcohol anymore. You just don't want it. And one of my clients, I'm going to call her Kay, she is a perfect example of this. So she came to me very, very clear that she did not want to label herself an alcoholic. She did not believe that she had a disease, and the traditional narrative felt very discouraging to her instead of motivating. And so once we started working together, she realized she was not broken at all. She was stressed. She was restless. She was overwhelmed. She was very overwhelmed as a mom, as a wife, and she was using alcohol to cope with very human moments. And when I taught her how to regulate her nervous system and clean up the beliefs that she had around her very human, just daily challenges, everything really started to soften. Her cravings faded, her urge to drink disappeared, and pretty much proved her point. She did not need to label herself. She did not need to believe that she had this lifelong battle ahead of her. She just simply needed better tools. And we did the top down and the bottom up approach. And she is now over 2.5 years sober. So amazing. And that's because she finally saw her relationship with alcohol through a non-judgmental lens. This is key. She realized she was never defective. She was simply a very, very capable woman who had just never been taught the proper tools to cope with life in a way that actually supported her. So, first up is the body. And this is the part that most approaches completely miss. So, if your nervous system is dysregulated, your body is pretty much in a low level of fight or flight mode all the time. I like to say that your body feels like there's a bear in front of you at all times and your life is in danger. So when you feel anxious or restless, or you have that feeling of, I just need a drink right now, that is your body screaming for regulation, not alcohol. And through things like breath work, grounding, some really simple daily practices, we teach your body how to feel safe on its own without needing alcohol to do that for you. So when you feel stressed, your body doesn't go into panic mode. It knows how to ground itself and come down naturally. And what happens is that you stop needing alcohol to take the edge off because your body learns how to do that on its own. So another client, I'm going to call her B, came to me and she was drinking 3 or 4 nights a week, no matter how much she wanted to stay sober. And that's because of the way that she felt walking through the door every day after work. She arrived home already feeling stressed and worn out, but immediately had to shift into mom mode. She had to cook dinner. She had to help with homework. She had to help with after school activities, getting them bathed, getting them fed. And there was no reset time for her brain and for her body. And what happened was wine became the only thing that could really help her slow down in the moment. And it felt like this little tiny pocket of relief that she was never able to really give to herself. Even though she was with the kids the whole evening, just having wine in her system felt like relief and something that she was doing for herself to get a little bit of a break. And what we uncovered together was this hidden belief underneath. And the belief was that her kids needed her at all times. But in reality, they were very self-sufficient and they could allow her to have 10 minutes to herself every day after work. So we began to rewire this belief, and instead of reaching for wine, we built in a short, what I like to call downshifting routine for her after work. And once her nervous system had space to calm down from the day, the cravings started to fade on their own. And she no longer needed wine to cope because she was finally giving herself what she actually needed. And it was really, really amazing to see this transformation from one very simple shift. Then we shift our focus to your mind. Most of the women that I work with are very ambitious, they're smart, and they are very, very self-aware. They've read all the books, they've listened to the podcast, they've journaled, they have done therapy, but their thinking is still wired to believe things like, I need alcohol to relax. It's how I connect with other people. Life is going to be so boring and uneventful without it. And in the top down rewiring, we work on dismantling those beliefs and building new ones that are based on truth and in science rather than something that's rooted in fear. And you learn how your brain has actually linked alcohol with feeling safe and rewarded. And we start to replace that with real coping mechanisms that actually work for you. And my client, Anne Marie, believed that she needed alcohol for things like concerts, shows, festivals, social events. And this was a story that her brain fully believed. So, of course, when she went to go and do those things, she thought about drinking every time she walked into those environments because her brain had strongly associated those beliefs with those environments. And once we started working together, we really started to challenge those thoughts and the impact that they were actually having on her life. And we softened the belief that alcohol made things more fun, and we replaced it with what was actually true for her. And then she started getting her reps in. She started putting herself in social situations. She would go to music festivals. She would go to social events and social gatherings without drinking. And she genuinely had positive experiences, which was so amazing. And with every event, her confidence grew so much. And she really proved to herself that she could have fun and socialize and be present at these events without alcohol, that it was not necessary. And once her brain no longer believed that drinking was required, the desire for alcohol disappeared. And now she is the queen of attending concerts and festivals and big social gatherings and feels so confident and has so much fun and loves herself and has her own back through it all. The third piece is where it all comes together, and I call this empowered sobriety. And this is all about living your life sober with confidence and with joy and feeling so proud of yourself. You start dating sober and you actually enjoy it. You go to family dinners without feeling like you have to hide. You can have hard days because those do not go away just because you're sober. And you don't automatically feel like you have to reach for a drink just to feel okay. Because when you feel empowered in your sobriety, you know that you can handle it. You stop feeling embarrassed to turn down a drink, maybe at a work event. And it stops being about just not drinking. And it starts being about becoming someone who does not need to escape their own life. And my clients always say that this is the moment that they truly feel free. And that FOMO, that fear of missing out, really disappears for them. And that's really what empowered sobriety is all about. And my client Meredith is someone who never expected sobriety to feel empowering. So when she first came to me, she felt very embarrassed that she ever struggled with alcohol. But once she started regulating her nervous system and rewired the belief that alcohol made her more fun and relaxed, and started actually living her life alcohol free, something so much bigger happened for her. She began to feel proud of who she was becoming. She used to say that all the time on our calls. I am just so proud of me. I'm so proud of who I'm becoming. And she didn't say that before we started working together. She genuinely loved her experiences without alcohol. She felt confident telling people that she didn't drink. In fact, she felt proud of it. And she really liked being clear and grounded and fully present for herself. And from that empowered identity, everything truly expanded for her. She started her own LLC, and then she was hired by a very reputable company after starting it. She took risks that she would have never taken when she was hiding in the shame. She told me that once she stopped feeling embarrassed about being sober, nothing felt off limits for her. And that is truly what empowered sobriety looks like. It stops being about not drinking, and it becomes about the life that you get to build. And honestly, when you stop settling for the version of yourself that needs alcohol to cope, you truly stop settling everywhere else in your life. Your standards literally start to rise across the board because you are no longer spending all of your energy managing alcohol, and you finally have the clarity and the capacity to go after what you actually want in your life. The reason why the Empowered Sober Path works so well is because it's very simple and it's very intuitive. So the traditional way of attempting sobriety is a constant cycle of fighting cravings, white knuckling it, relying on willpower, relapsing, and then just repeating it all over again. And the new way is rewiring your brain, regulating your body, and integrating new habits. And the cravings just naturally fade away. And what happens is everything just starts to compound on itself. And when the brain really starts to feel safe, your body can relax. And when your body starts to feel safe, then your brain starts to relax. And when the body relaxes, the cravings just get quieter. And when the cravings get quieter, you finally get your energy, you get your confidence, and you really get your peace back. And this is just like my client Susie, who is now over a year sober. And the changes for her just really stacked on each other in the best way. Her partner recently told her that he feels like he has the fun version of her back again, the woman that he married. Her mood is steadier. She can handle crisis with calm and with confidence. She sleeps so much better. Her tennis game has massively improved, and she's actually excited to talk about her sobriety. She loves talking about it, which was not the case in the beginning. And what she tells me now is that she finally feels like the truest version of herself. And she chooses the things that she says yes to because she genuinely wants to do them. She's no longer people pleasing and saying yes to things that don't actually align with her and her desires. And she's able to say no to things from a very empowered place. This is a huge change for her. And stress and hard moments still happen. Again, they don't go away just because you are sober, but the way that she handles it is so different, and she doesn't need wine to help her get through those stressful moments. And she has really just become this very happy, grounded, and confident version of herself. And it really all started with a few shifts that just kept compounding over time. So if you want to start building your own empowered sober path, Here are a few things that you can actually start doing right now. So, first, you want to just start noticing your patterns. This is extremely, extremely important. What are your triggers that make you want to drink? What are the emotions? Focus on the emotions that you have before you drink. Are you stressed? Are you restless? Are you irritable? Are you bored? Are you having anxiety? And again, just becoming aware is the most important step because what you're not aware of, you cannot change. Second, I want you to start questioning the stories that you are telling yourself about alcohol. So the next time that you think, oh, I need a drink right now to relax, or I need a drink to be at this social function, start to question it, start to challenge it. Is that really true? What else might be more helpful for me? Is it possible that I'm capable of doing this without a drink? And then third, start to regulate your body. Even just 1 minute of deep breaths, or even 3 deep breaths, can really change your nervous system baseline. It sounds so small and it sounds so simple that we often don't try it. But I actually want you to try it. And I want you to start to notice a difference, even if it's a 1% shift. And fourth, build a sense of safety. Surround yourself with people and places that support the person that you want to become. And finally, celebrate every single win, even if it's just a 1% shift. When you celebrate every single win, that is going to create momentum for you. That's going to really light up that reward circuit in your brain. And your brain says, yes, I want more of that. Let's keep going. Because the path to feeling empowered is just made of all of these small, consistent shifts. The Empowered Sober path is truly all about transformation and creating a life that you are proud of and that you enjoy living. And I still do this work on myself every single day because it keeps me feeling connected and calm and proud of the person that I am becoming. So if you are ready to stop fighting cravings and you are ready to start feeling free and grounded and confident, then maybe this is truly your sign. So feel free to go through all my other videos, watch them, and you can also DM me the word path and start learning what your Empowered Sober path can look like, because I think that you will be absolutely amazed at what you can achieve when alcohol is no longer a factor in your life anymore.